Hello, my YouTube friends. Thanks for joining in tonight, you guys. Oh man, we appreciate each and every one of you. As always, thanks for joining the Audio Master Show. You know the gig, man. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, write down snare, wrap it up on that baby, man, and come on in, because we got a lot of great things going on at the Audio Master Show. So, I'm so excited, man, to be here with you guys tonight on this Sunday. We have a tropical storm out there in the Gulf, man, and who knows what it's going to bring, right? So we're all on our tippy toes, man, and we just want to get through this hurricane season, man, so that we can breathe and get out there and start enjoying some live music. And that is the question that I raised tonight. Where is the best place to watch live music here in the big Texas, man, in the big beat, man? So I just wanted to go over a few little cool little places that I want to say is some of my favorite places to watch some live music. And one was Green, Texas, where I just got back from in the Hill Country. It is a fabulous place to watch live, inspiring, great musicians come up, young and old, play, man. I'm talking everything from jazz, R&B, country, folk. It doesn't matter, man. You're going to get some great live music that's being played. Hey, Caden, what's going on, my friend? Thanks for joining in tonight. You know what, man, Caden? We were going to talk about some great new equipment that's coming out. And I got to thinking, man, I just did this vacation, man, and got to watch some live music, and that raised the question to me. And a lot of people want to know where's a good place to watch some live music here in Texas, man. And so I just want to say that Green, Texas is a fabulous place to watch some great new musicians, young musicians, old musicians play. Everybody from our rock and roll to folk music, just about any kind of music you can imagine, Caden. They play in Green, Texas, and some of the oldest, coolest little places, man, that you can go and set up, and just friendly people. Everybody's friendly, and come on out. Let's just have a good time and relax. And man, I'm telling you, I had the best time right there in Green, Texas. Now, keep in mind, in Austin, Texas, there's a lot of live music in Austin, Texas, too. So South Austin and all around there, man, is really hip. It's got some cool stuff. Everything from rockabilly music to just you name it, man. You got it out there in Austin, Texas. So that area of Texas is just really booming as far as live music goes. If you like live music like myself, man, not only am I a musician and a recording artist here and whatnot, I love watching other people enjoy just ripping it out, whether they're shredding or heavy rock. It doesn't matter. They're playing their instrument and they're learning, they're honing in on their craft, man. And it's such a beautiful thing to watch people do that, man, because I'm telling you, man, there are a lot of great guitar players out there who nobody even knows about, man. They're just so good and so talented, and their records aren't out there to be heard. And it's sad that in my eyes, that they pick a very few people to be the stars, and they're going to make a star, and they get everybody on The Voice, and we're going to make a star out of you because you can sing. Man, let's get back to the bands again, man. Let's get back to some really cool music that it takes a band and everybody's inspiration. You know what I mean, Caden? When everybody throws in their 2 cents, then their 2 cents becomes, millions, right? And it just, you can really tell. It makes me think of those old bands like Stevie Nicks and just all the great bands that had 7 or 8 musicians playing at one time, and they all brought something to the table, So Houston, Texas is a really cool place too, man. Houston, Texas is probably about an hour and a half drive from me right here. And I can go to Houston, Texas, and I can go to just about anywhere I please. And somebody's going to be playing some live music out there somewhere. And, everybody from tribute bands, you see a lot of that around here. You see a lot of tribute bands, but the bands that I really like to go to, Caden, are the ones that are original, man, where you've never heard that song before, and you're listening to the lyrics for the first time, and they're up there playing it, and you're going, dang, man, I really dig that, And so while I was in Green, Texas, just the other day, I got a chance, Caden, to really not only listen to the musicians sitting back and taking the back seat, but I actually got a chance when they stopped playing and took a break to actually, go up there and converse with them and say, hey, da 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 da, where you from, how long you been playing, and it was just a beautiful thing, man, to be able to do that. And let me tell you, man, Caden, these people opened up as if I knew them forever, and started telling me when they started playing, what inspired them to start playing. So this one girl, I am going to do an interview on her. Her name is Colleen, and I met her in Green, Texas, and she was just a super cool chick. And she's been playing all the stuff that she plays. Caden is original, man. And that was just, I was like, yeah, man, keep doing that, keep doing that. You got some great stuff, Colleen. Keep writing music, keep coming out with great stuff. So she told me while I was there talking to her, I'm looking for a band that'll travel with me. And I was like, you know what, man, 20 years ago, dude, I would have signed up with her and took off wherever she wanted to go and, been her guitar player. But anyway, it was just fun, Caden, being able to talk to her about live music and about what she had going on with herself and traveling around and doing all these live gigs everywhere, man. So Houston has to be my second place, probably Houston, Texas, to go watch live music. Now in Houston, Texas, you can watch big acts come in. Everybody from you name it, they're going to come into Houston, Texas, and they're going to play. And I've seen a lot of big acts in Houston play. Everybody from Rush, Pink Floyd, you name it, Poison, it doesn't matter. I've seen them play in Houston, Texas, or Dallas, Texas. That's another great place to go watch some live music, man. Here's the thing, man. You're going to be in big crowds, when you go to these big concert arenas and whatnot. And you're going to be, amongst a lot of people, and sometimes you're sandwiched in, and it takes 20 minutes to go to the restroom, which is kind of a drag too sometimes, but you really get to see some cool acts. But when you go to Austin and the San Antonio area like that, and the hill country over there, you're going to get to watch some really good people play in some smaller venues. And here's the thing about smaller venues, man. You're going to get to be able to meet these people and hang out with them, man. And what a cool thing, right? Just to talk music and talk, instruments, and how long you've been playing your Strat, or what makes you like the Strat or the Marshall or this or that or the Fender Twin. Or you can just get into all kind of great conversations with these musicians because they're just guys like us. They're just ordinary people who love music and who've always been drawn to music ever since they were yay high, and listening to their dads whistle these songs on the radio. And so they just, I want to play guitar. I want to learn an instrument. And I remember being in fourth grade, and believe it or not, man, I wanted to learn how to play the trumpet. What's going on, a bull tide? So the trumpet was going to be my deal, and you know what? I never learned it, but my junior year in high school, I said, you know what, man? Enough with these sports, man. I am going to learn guitar. So I bought my first guitar. It was a Teisco Del Rey. In fact, I still have that Teisco Del Rey, and played it for a while. And then my second guitar was an acoustic guitar, a Fender guitar, and I still have that guitar. Now all the other guitars in between, all the good ones, I got rid of, man. I don't know why either. I gave them away or sold them. I think I sold my my Gibson Les Paul. It was a Silverburst, a 68 or 69. No, I'm sorry, 1978 Silverburst. And it was a beautiful, beautiful guitar. Now, here's the thing about Gibsons. I learned on a flat neck, and so I love playing flat necks, and that's why I really, although I have owned some Signature Series Eric Johnson Fender Strat, I own that guitar, which I ended up selling. Something about the neck, man, it has to be flat. And since I learned on that flat neck, it's easier for it to make my runs and to be really, really fast if I want to shred, right? If not, I can play those bar chords and whatever really, really nice on a flat neck. And I love the Gibson's flat neck. So I sold all my other guitars. Here's a guitar that you haven't seen. It's got a broken string on it. And I was thinking about stringing it up tonight, but I was like, you know what, man? I got a show to do. and I'm just going to save that probably for tomorrow night. But I love this little guitar. Let me show it to you. It's got a flat neck, man, for $400, man. I love this little guitar, man. It is an Ibanez, and it is the little Jim. And man, I thought I was going to have to buy this guitar and actually put in new pickups in here, because I was thinking, well, if the neck's really, really good, then surely the pickups are going to be crud, right? So I was going to have to spend a couple more $100 putting some nice pickups in here and whatnot. And then I was thinking, well, maybe the tremolo bar would be jacked up, and that wouldn't work very well, as very good as well. So but for $400, man, I started playing this guitar, man. I was like, oh my gosh, the freaking neck just feels so good. It's got the jumbo frets in here, and I never changed the pickups. I didn't have to, man. They sound really, really good. And so I have a high E string that's broken right here, as you can see. And it's really not broken. It actually came out here, but the strings need to be changed, and I bought some new strings the other day. And so I can't wait to get this baby strung up and start playing again on it, and just, maybe just start rocking out, right? So anyway, man, I've been enjoying that guitar. And I also have a nice Dean guitar that's a flat neck Dean guitar that I really like to play on too when I get into my heavier stuff and get away from my folk music and whatnot. So anyway, life is good, man, as it should be. And even though we are going through chaos times, it just feels good to be free, man. Amen. So we got a lot of cool things coming up, and I did want to talk about some cool microphones that they released, and we're going to be doing a show on that too. And I might end up just biting the bullet and getting one of these bad boys to see what they're all about. I'm not going to mention it tonight, man, because we got some cool stuff to cover tonight, and I want to get it all in, man. So yeah, man, it's starting to rain here today, Caden. Bulltide is starting to rain. I hope you're not getting swamped right now with rain where you're at, Bulltide. But here the next couple of days, man, it could set over Texas and along the Gulf coastline, and we should get some heavy flooding, anywhere from 15-20 inches, maybe more. And I hope it's not another Harvey, man. We do not need that. I'm just desperately dying to get through all this stuff. But here's the thing, man. So today, okay, and this is what I did today, man. Went and see my mom, helped her out today, okay. Left there, came back home, and we were talking about some of her favorite places that she wants to go, and maybe even possibly move to. And I was like, well, where would you like to go, Mom? And here's the thing with me. I've seen everything from where I live to the east, but I've never seen anything to the west. So I've never been to California. I've never been to New Mexico, and it's right beside me. I've never been to Arizona. And she brought up Arizona, and I was like, oh my gosh, I always really wanted to kind of go see Arizona and to see what that's all about. And so anyway, I got on the phone today, and I was calling a few different hotels and whatnot just to see what their rates were in October to go to Arizona and hang out there for a while. So I called, I want to say, the Princess Hotel in Arizona, and man, I want to say it was like she told me $600 a night to stay there. And I was like, for real? And she's like, yeah, it's our busy time of the season. I'm like, okay, I get it, man. It's cooling off and over there, and people want to kind of hang out when it's kind of cooler or whatever. So anyway, I want to go there, man. I hear it's really, really cool. A lot of rock artists, a lot of new things, a lot of money. Everything's kind of cool there, what I hear. I don't know, Caden. Have you ever been there, man? I want to ask you, because I know you're over there kind of close. Have you ever been to Arizona? Have you ever been over in that area, man? I don't know. I just feel this tug to pull me there for some reason, and to go see what Arizona is all about, man. So anyway, so my nephew got online, and he started looking around, and he actually found where you can rent houses over there for like $200 a night. Nice house with a swimming pool and the whole 9 yards. And so I'm thinking that's probably going to be more my gig, to go do that. Just rent a house, stay there. It's not a B&B, so there aren't other people living there while you're go in and get a room and whatever. So that's really cool. I'm kind of weird about that. So I stayed in a place in Marshall, Texas, and it was a B&B, and we went in and stayed, and people we didn't know, and it was cool. I mean, I didn't really, they didn't make me feel uncomfortable, but it was just kind of weird. I'm taking a shower and I'm looking all around, wondering if there's any cameras in there and everything. Anyway, so I don't know, man. I kind of like the idea of going to, just having a private house to go to and not have to deal with the hotel scene, and jump in the pool at midnight or whatever, hang out and see what all that red rock and everything looks like over there. And so anyway, I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting to go. I am going to be putting out my little feelers everywhere and asking a lot of questions. And when I get over there, I want to see if there's any live music, anything great going over there, as far as the music scene goes. In Texas, there is a lot of places to go watch live music. Even in my little town, we have a few little places, little coffee shops. We have little venues that people go and do live music. And then we have just a lot of people that's been here a long time, that's been playing live music and everything. And a lot of their stuff really isn't original. I wouldn't say that. I mean, I don't know what it is, but I wouldn't say this is like a original. People write a lot of original music in this town. I don't know why. I might be one of the very few who write my own music. Now, keep in mind, there was a time when I learned a lot of other people's music, a lot of Led Zeppelin. Growing up, I learned a lot of Led Zeppelin songs, a lot of the Doors songs, and then some of the popular songs that were out at the time, and a lot of Nirvana songs. So I did learn a lot of other copy songs when I was in a band, but I my really deal that I really like to do is to write my own stuff, man. Why not, right? So it's going to be interesting to see what some of these other cities have to offer whenever I go to Arizona and go through New Mexico and see what's going on. Now, isn't that weird, man? I live just hours away from New Mexico. I've never even been to never been to New Mexico, man. I gotta get out of my shell, man. I gotta go, right? I gotta go, go. And so it's neat that oh, by the way, Caden, is my or Bull Tide, is my audio jacked up like it was last night? I hope not. I hope my levels are screaming at you. Because you know what? I did not change any of the settings in here. And then I was scrolling last night after I got offline with you guys, and I looked down here at the bottom, and Lord and behold, Caden, you'd mentioned it, man. It sounds like your Brio camera's on. Well, you know what, dude? It was strange. My Brio camera was kicking it. It was on, and this microphone was on at the same time. How? I do not know, but they were both on. So I went in here on the settings, turned it off the daggum Brio, and so from now on, I am just going to be checking every time before I come on that the Brio camera on my microphone on my camera is off. So hopefully the sound is better tonight. Hopefully what I did is I untangled a bunch of little wires here. My internet connection that was going to my computer, to my camera, was the wires were like this, wrapped up, and then I had some audio cables that was crossing it, going through it, so maybe that had something to do with the interference. I hope so, man, because I don't want a gray screen tonight, man. I watched that video when I got off last night, man. I was like, are you kidding me? They weren't kidding me, but on my end, on my computer, it was not graying out. So when y'all were seeing gray screens and splotchiness and blocks everywhere, you weren't kidding, man. Y'all were seeing it, because I watched the video myself and was going, man, dadgum, how could they even tolerate that, man? So anyway, I didn't take it down. I'm gonna leave it up. I like leaving up mistakes and all that good stuff that everybody can just laugh and get a good time, get a good kick out of it and whatnot. And that's what we have to do, man. When we fall, we have to just laugh about it and get up and just keep on going, man. Because if we don't laugh about it, man, life can be pretty miserable, right? So sometimes we have to laugh at even our mistakes, and it just makes it kind of fun to get through it, right? And so, anyway, I looked at that video, man. It was over an hour or something long last night. I was like, wow, time can really fly when you're talking about cool stuff and audio and music, just, everything. But if you guys out there know any great places in Texas that I haven't mentioned as far as going and watching some live music, some really cool stuff, let me know. I want to say whenever I went to the East Coast and was watching a lot of live music there was some really cool stuff there too. As far as people playing on the beaches and little clubs and whatnot, and I really dig that scene because it was kind of cool just being on the beach, and you're out and it's dark and just you hear the waves and all that cool stuff, and then just kind of meander right on in there, man, and get hang out in the club, man, and watch the band perform. It's just a really nice thing to do. Here's the thing: once you fall in love with music, once you love listening to, I don't know if there's anything great right now to listen to. It seems like in my area, everything that I'm listening to on the radio is just redundant and I don't know. I wouldn't say overproduced, but just I don't know. I'm just really waiting for some good bands to come to form and get out there. So if you guys know any great new bands I need to check out, throw that in there too, man. I will get online and check them out. I like rock stuff. I like pop rock stuff, more rock. I just like a vast array of genres, so it really doesn't matter what you throw at me. I'll check it out and listen to it. And so, but once music kind of gets in your blood, man, it always puts you in a vibe. You can be somewhere or you hear an old song that you really, really like and it takes you to a place. Even maybe makes you think of a fond memory that you had somewhere, maybe on vacation, or maybe just as a kid, a cool song that you heard as a kid that you still like, man. And it's that kind of stuff right there that inspires us to be musicians and inspires us for those who like recording and being an engineer. It inspires us to get in there and do that too. And so there's so many different avenues in the music field that you can be a part of and enjoy. Maybe you're not a great musician, but you really got great ears and you really got a good feel for getting good balances on your mix, and you hear things in the mix that can make it better. And so maybe you could be a great engineer. And so I know when I started recording many years ago, it was back with a lot of analog tape, a lot of rack mount stuff, a lot of Alesis stuff. In fact, these are some of my early pieces way back in the day, over 20 years old, and it still works, man. And that's what's beautiful about Alesis. I did a video on those on Alesis stuff, and I thought it was amazing. After all these years, man, I can plug this stuff in and dial up and still sound great, man. So anyway, I started recording my own stuff, original stuff, going through some of this reverb units, going to an old Tascam Real 4-track, and then to a big Yamaha mixing board. And I knew right at that point, listening back to one of my first recordings, I was like, man, this is amazing. I love this. I love recording. And so, I've just, ever since that day of some of my first couple of songs that I recorded, I dived right on into it, man, and been hooked right here all this time as far as enjoying recording. And here we are today, man, and I'm with all this great equipment that we have. We have the DAW now we can get into, and we can actually see the waveform. We can cut, splice, fix, correct, make bigger, make smaller, make thinner, make wider. We can do all these things to the audio to really create some beautiful sounding stuff, man. When you had tape, you had to do everything beforehand, and you had to create the sound to sound big on tape. And now it's different. We can make digital sound like analog, and just some crazy stuff that we can do with second and third harmonics that really make things really sound huge and wide, right? And so we can do all that in our DAW, which is a beautiful thing. We don't have to spend $80,000 on a 2-inch tape machine to achieve that. So there's some beautiful stuff that we can do with the digital world now. And also, I did want to say that anyone who is interested in recording and mixing music, is what a great time to be in to do so. We have some great stuff out there that you can kind of get in fairly cheap and do some beautiful recordings with. And so the other day when I did a couple of my tracks on the piano, and I did a track on using my acoustic guitar tuned to an open G, it was using two microphones, and that was a live cut. There wasn't any fixing anything that, man. I had to get my sound, at least, what I thought sounded good through my headphones, and just jam it out and do it. So there wasn't any fixing it, man. And I like doing that. I like freeforming. As you know, I do all my videos freeform. There's nothing scripted out here, man. If I jack it up, I jack it up, man. And but I also like recording, and I also like getting in there with my plugins. All my Wave plugins are amazing. I love what you can do with Waves, and some of their EQs are amazing. Some of even their tape machines to emulate old tape are amazing. And so I have the Gold Bundle and many more Wave plugins that I bought extra and added to my arsenal. And so I love their stuff. I've been using it for a while and just dig it. So on this next tune that we talked about last night, Caden, I am going to have my nephew come in again. Now, we did do some video in this room of the song, but I got a feeling, man, we're going to need to do a few more cuts. And I mentioned about bringing in a female artist to sing some backing vocals on this tune. And so we're going to get some footage of her in this room. And I kind of want to be kind of behind the cameraman and watch him do his thing. But we're going to get some footage of her and some close-ups and back off and kind of going around her and whatnot with the camera. And that's going to be cool to watch all that stuff. Get her in on the gig, man. And I'm excited, man. So anyway, I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Amazing day. I hope my video is looking better than it did last night. Now I just moved my computer so it did something, I don't know, but I hope my video is looking better. I do have a little more light on me tonight. I took the blue lights off. I have a white light here and a white light here. I didn't want to put the white light in front of me because I'll lose the background. I'll lose the blue lights and everything in the background by doing so. So I just put it over here to the side of me. That way it'd leave the back area alone. Now, check that out, man. When I move my hand, how the camera wants to readjust to the lighting in the room. That's weird. See, it's trying to do that. But anyway, man, Houston, Texas, Dallas, Texas, Austin, Texas, great place for bigger venues and bigger gigs. Now, we used to have a cool little place here in Beaumont that we used to always go to and watch big acts. I want to say I seen Ozzy Osbourne here in Beaumont, Texas. I believe it or not, man, I seen Ozzy Osbourne here, and he was so loud. They actually had him at the fair park, and it's where we have our fair every year, the Texas Fair. And so he was here, and he came in, and the Fair Park Arena, he actually did his gig in where they have where they bring in the animals and all the cows and they show off all that kind of stuff. So it was in an arena, outside arena, that he actually came and performed at. And so Ozzy came in, and he was so loud. He was so loud. His band was so loud that the mayor in our town said, no more live acts outside. But let me tell you something. It was so loud. I've never been to a concert that sounded so good. You could really hear that 250 hertz just slamming you in the chest, man. And everything was just whoever the engineer was on that gig that Ozzy had was amazing, man, because the sound just sounded so good, so loud, no feedback. Just did a wonderful job. But here, there's really, we have a place called Ford Park that people, I don't know, it's just really a dying place. They're not really doing anything out there. Every now and then they'll bring in a big act, but it's nothing great, And so, I don't know, really not too much here. Now, Lake Charles has a lot of cool places to go watch some live music, but that's outside of Texas. Lake Charles, Louisiana, is close to me. However, you got to go to Louisiana to watch some really cool live gigs over there, and they do bring in some great big acts there. So I will say that. One thing about those Cajuns over there, man, they know how to rock and roll and bring it down. And so, yeah, man, you go over there, man, you got to do the live crawfish thing. If you don't eat crawfish, you will when you leave Louisiana. That's for sure, man. They know how to spice it up and make something that comes out of the mud just tastes fabuloso. And I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just great. I love live music. I love music, and it is in my blood and will be a part of me forever and ever. And I hope you guys as well. So yeah, we got some cool things coming up, and I wanted to do, like I say, I was talking about. There's these new microphones that's coming out, and y'all know I love microphones, man. And there's one that I will do a show on, maybe tomorrow night if I do all my research and everything. But anyway, it's just supposed to sound beyond sounding like a microphone, man. And it kind of has that that blue type bottle look to it, the bottleneck mic with the round capsule on it, and outside of the microphone itself. And so anyway, I was checking it out and doing some research, and I actually talked to a guy at Sweetwater about it, and he was like, man, he said, look, he said, if you want to change it up and you really want something different than what you already have, you got to check out this microphone right here. And so it's a little over $1,000. I want to say it's $1,200, $1,300. That'll get you in the door and to be able to get one of these bad boys. Now they do have, that's the entry level one. Then they do have one that's like way higher than that. I'm not sure what, how many mics do you have? Oh, you know what? How many mics did I have, or how many mics do I have now? I'll answer both questions. Okay, so I probably had over 50 mics or 60 mics at one time, and everything from Neumann, the TLM 103, the 87, the Fleet 47. So I had at least that many microphones. As of now, I don't have that many. I have this one right here, the SM7B, which I love, Caden. I have the 57, which is great for miking any type of cab, guitar cab or whatever. I have so that's 1, 2. I have the AK 47 3. That's a great condenser microphone, by the way. That's one of my babies there. I do have a blue microphone, bottleneck. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I have the 55. That's 5. I have the Rode. That's 6. The NT1. Let's see what other. I have a 58. What's in this bag right here? I don't even know what's in this bag. Okay, so this is the Rode right here. Got it right here. And let's see what's in this bag. I don't know. I would, if I had to guess, maybe 10 mics right now. And I have no more than that, because I have two shotgun EVs, and then I have probably about 12 mics, Caden, right now. 12 microphones would be safe to say how many mics I have right now, which really if it's me doing the tracking by myself and I don't have a band come in and whatever, there's plenty of microphones to use. I've got some really, really great what happened to your Owens? Okay, I ended up having to sell them, not because I was in a financial bond, but because of my situation that I was in. And I pretty much had to split everything, and so I had to kind of restart myself over. And so man, I had a lot of stuff I had to split, and part of the deal was getting rid of my studio. Can you believe that? Anyway, it happened, and I had to sell it and divide it, everything that I purchased. So I had to start all over again. It wasn't a decision that I wanted to do or make. It just happened, right? If you're in a relationship with somebody and somebody wants out of the relationship, there's really nothing you can do at that point, right? And here in Texas, everything's split half, down the middle. So if your partner wants you to either sell out or buy out, you have to do it. I know, right? It does suck. And I'm gonna tell you something, buddy. Man, I had some really great vintage microphones. They weren't just microphones. And here's the thing: I shopped many of these microphones, Caden, on eBay. So, like I seen the famous Jim Morrison EV microphone. I had two of those, and I would shop, and I made sure not only were they superior mics, but they had to work as intended. In excellent condition, no scratches. So I had a bunch of Turner microphones back from the 30s, all your electro voice microphones, way back from the 60s and before. So I was a microphone collector, man. That was my thing. That was like, I don't know, some people collect baseball cards, or some people collect hot rods, or cards or whatever, cars. And me, I collected microphones. That's what my little love was, man. So I knew how they all acted, and I knew how they all sounded. And trust me, man, they all sounded different and had their unique color to them. And so it was neat. Sometimes I'd be in the studio, Caden, and I'd be recording a vocal track and then say, oh, well, let me just try this one. Let me try this dynamic. Let me try this one that was made 40 years ago and see what it sounds like on this track. Man, and they all sounded different. And sometimes it would surprise me. I'd be singing through a $4,000 microphone and then go, wow, let me check out this old Turner microphone. How long ago did you have 50 of them? Well, it took me a while to get all that, to collect all that, so I didn't collect them all in one night, you know what I mean? I collected them over a period of 10 years, those 50 mics, and like I say, I hand-picked them off of eBay. In other words, they were in mint condition, and a lot of them I probably overpaid, but I got what I wanted, you know what I mean? I got some really good mics, and none of them really had any scratches or dings in them, and they were just in pretty much mint condition, man. And so not only did I have that many mics, but they were all in excellent working condition. And anyway, out of all of them, I did sneak 3 by, and I still got those 3, and those are my Electro Voice shotgun boom microphones, and one Turner 95 S95 that I still have. It's really kind of cool. I don't know if you've seen it, but so I had them up until 3 years ago, to answer your question. And so yeah, that was a great question anyway, by the way. Thank you for asking that. It took me some time to acquire them, and I worked really, really hard getting them. And so when I sold them, it was just I felt miserable, and it literally took me 2 years to get over all that, being in misery. And then I want to say by probably 3 years ago, I sold them 3 years ago. I had to get rid of them. So yeah, it was not good for me. It was not 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I had to let them go, along with everything else that I pretty much acquired throughout my time of enjoying a good life. Anyway, but I'm really happy here. My new place, it's not nothing fancy, man. I don't live, it's quite, but it's comfortable, man. It's just me, and it's it was a 4-bedroom old house that I'm actually in right now. And so when I moved into this, I know, dude, and I was committed to this person for a long time, man. And this is what happened, dude. Women change, right? They go through menopause and do all kind of weird stuff. I'm not coming down. I'm not bashing anybody, right? I'm just saying what reality is. And so anyway, she just wanted out. I mean, we had everything paid off. We had money in the bank. Life was good. It was a time for us really to start traveling and going places. And then you didn't even keep your money after you sold them. Well, this is the interesting part, right? Being that we acquired everything and she wanted half of everything, I could have bought her out, but I had to buy her out on other assets that were bigger, like property at the beach. and I really needed that money to do that. So and then not only just property down there, but a place to stay. So I had to do that too, and I did get money out of it in the end of the divorce and all that. So it wasn't like I lost out completely. I just lost out on a lot of basically my studio, and so everything that you see in the studio, other than this stuff, all my Lisa stuff, before all that went down, thank goodness I'd given this to my son. So I'd given all this stuff to my son, and all this whole stuff you see in this rack right here, I'd given it to him because he likes recording music, and he's an engineer musician too. And then so it wasn't until a couple months ago I asked him, I said, "Hey man, you still got that stuff?" He says, I said, "Are you using it?" He said, "No." I said, "Well, let me have it, man. I want to do some tracking with it." So he gave it back to me. I said, "Well, when you want it back, you can have it or whatever." So I got all this old stuff. This used to be in my other studio, but everything up here that you see up here is new. The speakers are new. I actually gave him also my NS10s, so he had them. There was a few things that I got away with, right? And I'm sure she got away with a lot more too. I actually feel like that maybe. Anyway, long story short, man, I moved into this place, and it's an old house. It's on piers, and what I did with there's two bedrooms that are close together. That you go through one bedroom, and then there's another bedroom. Well, what I did was I took off that wall. It wasn't a barrier or a main wall that you couldn't do that. So I took out that wall and was able to make two bedrooms into one long bedroom. So now I have a huge master bedroom that I really like, man. And then that other bedroom back there, I'm actually going to make it a big master bathroom. Take the bathroom now and make it a big closet. I do too, man. I really want to start collecting my mics back again, man. Here's the thing, man. When you love something, and some people like collecting guitars, man. I go over, other people's houses and whatnot, man. They've got 30, 40 guitars in there hanging up. They'll go to these big auctions and whatever and buy all these great guitars that from famous artists, signatures, and all this cool stuff. So I have friends that do that too, man, and I love guitars. I mean, I play guitar, so I love guitars. But it's something about, I don't know what it is about microphones, man. Microphones are just they just, I don't know what it is, man. But I really I'm turned on by them. I like them. I think they're all cute, cool, and amazing. And I even think they're an instrument, believe it or not, because if you work it right, you can get some different tonalities out of it. Just as if how you play your guitar, whether you squeeze a note or pinch it or whatever, make harmonics and stuff. You can do some really cool stuff with your microphone if you learn it and know how to work it. And so, anyway, I've just been a big. I hope I really want to. After that loss of that dude. It was kind of a big blow, man. It's like somebody hitting you in the gut and twisting, and brought me down on my knees for 2 years, man. I was really, really didn't know what the heck I was going to do with myself, man. When you're with somebody for a long, long time, man, you just you don't expect that. It probably would have been better for me to have lost in a different kind of way than the way it went down. But anyway, man. Look, hey. I'm okay, and I'm doing great, and I'm getting my little niche back, or niche, however you want to pronounce it, and I'm enjoying life, man. I'm doing good. It's just going to take me a while to get where I want to be, and until I figure that out, it's just going to be a new journey for me, and so I'm not scared anymore. I don't like, oh, well, what am I going to do? Where should I start? Because when stuff like that traumatic happens to you, or when you lose someone in your life, whether it's through death or some kind of way, you're really kind of traumatized. You're in this disbelief kind of moment in your life. Is this really happening? Or can I just wake up from this bad dream? And that's what it feels like when you get into when that happens to you, right? You're in this disbelief. And so it, only I will say this, only time will heal. So you got to go through Yeah, I know. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, Caden. But here's the thing. It didn't happen overnight. I want to say, look, dude. Before I start really hitting the weights, and part of my journey of getting through all this was, okay, I'm really, really gonna start exercising every day and do something beneficial for myself. But I want to say, right after the the divorce, I lost 30 pounds in 3 months. So the first month I lost 10 pounds. Second month I lost 10 more. And the third month I lost 30. I mean, insanely, it wasn't healthy for me to lose weight this much. But so now I'm up to my normal weight again, but even better normal weight. I have more muscle mass on me now, so because I've been working out and I've been doing cardio, and so I'm at my normal weight like I should be, and I'm feeling good. I'm eating good. You guys all know that, and I'm at a happy place, man. But that's how it all went down, man. I'm sorry you had to hear that, the personal side of all that, Caden. But that's how all that happened, man. And everything's good now, man. And I just, maybe I'll get on eBay and start shopping some cool old mics again. Now I did find a lot of those cool old mics at like flea markets and pawn shops. So I even drove to Lake Charles one time and bought some really cool, great microphones over there. In fact, I'd bought over there. This is the new 55 right here. This is what the new 55 looks like. It's the Shure 55. You probably know. But this is what the Shure 55 new one looks like. And I had went to Lake Charles and went to a pawn shop over there and found one of these, the original 55. Okay, original, dude. And the mesh inside, if you can see that popper stopper black mesh in there. Now on the sides of it, only on the sides of it was just deteriorated a little bit. But I was able to take that microphone after purchasing it and re-putting some new foam inside of it, and that was one of the best sounding microphones, dude, I have ever heard for a dynamic microphone. It was insanely sounded great after all those years, and it had zero. It looked just as good as this one, man. It didn't have any scratches on it. It was just a jewel. And the lady, I went in and the lady says, "Oh, I think I do have some old microphones." She goes back in the back, and 10 minutes later she comes back out, Caden, and she has the 55, and she has a few more other condenser microphones, old microphones. And I was really, my eyes are like, oh my gosh, look at that 55. So when she showed me, yeah, I know, man, it's such a classic, right? So when she showed me the 55, the original 55, I really didn't pay too much. I didn't want to let her know that, like, I don't really care about the other mics that you have. I really want that 55. It looks great. She didn't have anything. We didn't even plug it up or anything. I just knew I wanted that 55, and I acted like, it wasn't a big deal, or she had something great. So anyway, she made me a deal on all three of the mics, and I got this baby home, the original one, plugged it up. It sounded amazing, man. And so let me tell you a story about the 55. It's such a classic, as you mentioned. I had an artist come over, and this is when I had a lot of my mics, just about all my mics. And he came in, and he wanted to do some tracking in my old studio. And I said, okay, man. So I put up some really, really cool, bad to the bone microphones in front of him. I put the Neumann 87 in front of him. As you know, that's a $3,500 microphone. And I had the one that came out in the 70s, the purple badge on it. So it was the really good one with a good capsule in it. And so I put that one in front of him. And I want to say I put the TLM 103 in front of him, which is another Neumann mic. And I want to say I put the Flea 47 in front of him, singing his vocal tracks. Well, on this very same stand over here, I had this one setting up, okay, and he had said, "Does that microphone work?" And I was like, yeah, it works, man. I said, you want to sing through it? And he's like, yeah, I want to sing through that one right there. So after doing some cuts on those other microphones, we put up the original 55 in front of him, and he absolutely loved the way it sounded, and I agreed with him, man. It just sounded great. It set in the mix. We didn't have to do hardly any EQ whatsoever. I think we put a high pass filter on his tracks and just rode off a very little bit, not even a whole bunch. And on the low end, and it set in his tracks beautiful, man. And but that was the one I didn't have anymore, and so got rid of. I didn't want to just kill myself for having to do all that stuff. So now I have an imitation of the best microphone, probably one of the best dynamic microphones known to man, classic. And it did sound great, by the way. But that's okay, man. Life is good, and we're just gonna make it our best we can, my friend. We're gonna keep on trucking, and who knows, man? I may run across. So anyway, there's a story. Sylvia Macy. I don't know if you know who she is, Caden, but she is a big time recording engineer who's recorded everybody, every new band that you can think of. And she's an older lady. I want to say, if I had to guess, she's probably in her 60s now, or something like that, or maybe late 60s or whatever. But she did, look her up, Sylvia Macy. She's got tons of videos. In fact, check one of her videos out, Caden. She the drummer for that was a drummer for Nirvana, he's got some stuff out, and she did some tracking of him. So anyway, what I was going with the story was, there's an older guy, I don't know what state it is that he is, but he had every microphone known to man that they ever made, back from the beginning, even the old big bottleneck microphones that Hitler talked through. From way back then, right? All the microphones up to date. This old man had. Well, I don't know if the old man got sick. It was a museum somewhere here in the United States. A museum you could go and check out all these. Well, anyway, she became friends with this guy, and I don't know what happened, or if he was dying or what happened, but she ended up buying all his whole museum, all these old microphones, insane mics. Like watch. He had this old cool spy watch that has a microphone in it, in a watch. And so she had this drummer put it on his wrist while they were doing the tracking. So if you check out one of her videos on YouTube, she's tracking this band, this drummer, and she puts up all these different microphones, all these, probably over 50 mics on his drum kit, man. And she's old mics, new mics, and just really, really cool. You know what? I'm gonna see if I can find that. You need to watch this video, Caden. It's insane. And she's badass, man. She's bad to the bone. Sylvia Macy. You need to check her out, man. Let's see who it was, what that drummer, what his name was. Let's see. Let me try to find it for you, man. Let me see. We're gonna find her. See if my internet will work fast enough here on my phone. Check, see if I can find her. Anyway, these mics were just, it sounded amazing, and I want to say she ran. Yeah, I know, man. And so she has this. What interface was she using? Okay, she's using that new Antelope interface, and it costs like, I want to say, 10 grand to get you in. But dude, it has tons of ins and outs on it, and she can go to her board, out of her board, and she can split it up different. It has Dante on it, so she can send the files in real time to another studio. It's amazing. And anyway, that's what she has in her studio. Let's see. I don't know. My internet on my phone isn't coming up. Anyway, check her out, man. Sylvia Macy. Check her out. and there's plenty of videos you can check out, but it shows her doing the tracking of this drummer, man. And once you see him, you'll know who I'm talking about. But she puts up tons of mics on him and makes him sound like just, everybody was just amazed how great, the recording sounds going through the new Antelope interface and all the different old classic microphones that she set up on his drum set. I want to say she has one, two, like an old vintage microphone as one overhead in the middle, stereo. I want to say it was the old AKG stereo microphone she had on the center where it has a stereo mic, so the capsule's facing that way and then another capsule's facing this way. And then she had two overhead right and lefts on his drum set. Just tons. You got to check it out, man. And if I can't, if you don't find it, text me later on, and I'll find it whenever I get offline. I'll find it for you, man, and shoot you the link, man. But if you do find it, man, let me know what you think. Sylvia Macy, man, let me know what you think about her, and let me know what you think about what she's doing in the studio, man, with all these great artists, man. She's got tons of artists that she's made big time, on their records and whatnot. So anyway, she's somebody. She's one of my inspirations, because she's a mic lover too, man. So wouldn't it be neat to meet somebody like that? Somebody else that loves, what you love. Oh, man. I don't know. Anyway, check her stuff out. She is great. But you know what, man? Hey, we're kind of running out of time tonight. And but you know what, Caden? Thank you so much for joining in tonight, man, my friend. As always, see if you can find Sylvia Macy online. Let me know I'm going to be coming on here again tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Tomorrow night, and perhaps talking about that microphone that I kind of stirred the pot tonight, and but I really wanted to come on here and talk about live music and everything. But as you know, see how easy it is for me to get off and talk about other things. That's all right, man. Hey, we're real people, and we just do that, right? That's what we do in conversation. But join me again tomorrow night, man. Come hang out with me tomorrow night. We're gonna be talking some cool stuff. And you don't want to miss out, man. And let me know what you think about some of her videos. If you get a chance, check her out, and give us something to check her out. Check her out, man. She's Sylvia Macy. She's on YouTube. She probably has a ton of videos, but one, she's talking about that beautiful piece of Antelope interface that she's got, that she highly recommends. So I want to say I've seen a video on that where she's just specifically talking about that interface. Check that one out, man, because that's a bad boy right there, to die for, to have in your studio. By the way, if she's using it, it's good, man. And then all those beautiful old school microphones that she's got in there. Oh, it's insane, man. In fact, you're probably going to end up stopping the video just to stare at these cool old microphones that she's got, especially the watch that she puts on the drummer with a mic in it, the Spy watch. Anyway, she says, you got to wear this. He's like, dude, I'm sweating like a dog. She's like, wear it. But anyway, check it out, man. Let me know what you think, and we will see you tomorrow night, man.